Cheers, mate. Not actually. I'm kidding, bro. Chill. Nah, I wanted to make a proper introduction to this video because you'll see what you're about to watch. I'm kind of just talking in rambles. Nothing really goes in order. I'm just reading from my notebook. All right, so this is a proper introduction, and I also just want to say, like, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt, bro. Just have fun with it. Like, you know, I hope, like, that's what I want to try and do with this information when I share it, is, like, to just have fun with it. Like, take what fucking resonates, leave what doesn't, bro. You can still learn from it, even if you don't learn from it, like, whatever, bro, it doesn't matter. But, like, just have fun with it. Like, you see me in the video, I'm having fun with it, bro. So, like, yeah, sometimes I get a little serious because I get a little passionate about this stuff, but, just have fun with it and enjoy the video. Yeah, that's it. All right, peace. 2025, of course, is a 9-year. It's interesting too because the numerical value of Adam and Eve, when you break down Adam, it's a 45 number. Forgot how you get that. Yeah, I forgot how it equals 45, but there's some type of numerical math that you do that makes it equal 45, and of course 45 is a 9 number. With 9, you solve the identity of the beast. Who is the beast? 666. Once again, oh wow, yeah, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. It equals 9. The identity of the beast is you and me, our lower egoic mind, the nonstop voice in our head that threatens us, deceives us. It's true. This dude, I learned it from Bill Donahoe, legend, absolute legend for like breaking down the Bible and taking it out of its literal context and showing us the occult meanings of them, the symbolic meanings, the breaking down the analogies, and just remembering to not take the Bible as a literal like book, that it's a book of, you know, metaphors and analogies and symbolic in nature. Yeah, this dude was crazy, you know. He claims, he even goes as far as, yeah, people in the Bible never actually even existed. They just represented aspects of ourselves, aspects of the human. Eliminate the thoughts of the left brain. He was big on that too. This is Bill Donahoe. Bill Donahoe. You can look him up on YouTube. He has a bunch of lectures on YouTube. Powerful lectures, man. They're like 45 minutes to an hour long, and he has hundreds of them. And he was big on, like, you know, shutting off the left brain and entering the right side of your consciousness, the right brain, which is, you know, known for the more creative side of consciousness, known for the more like free flow, intuitive side, the feminine aspect of ourselves. And because a lot of us are really left brained, we're too analytical, too logical, you know, and that's kind of what the left brain is known for. Whether or not it's a real thing or not, like if science has proved it or not, but I don't really give a fuck about science, quite frankly. Like, I don't care that if science can't prove anything, if you can't see it, it doesn't exist. If you can't prove it, it's not real. I don't fucking care about that shit because science is fake, first of all. Nah, so, you know, it was crazy. Professor Jang or whatever the fuck, dude on YouTube named Predictive History, another GOAT who I've been learning from. You know, when I look back, it's like, damn, I actually low-key do have mentors, even though they're in the digital realm. It's like, these are real deal mentors for me. Like, these are my teachers, bruh. I was watching really cool videos about him, called Secret History, and he was talking about the origins of secret societies and how, you know, the elites pretty much came into to rule the world. Like, you know, when people talk about the elites, it's like the people behind the scenes controlling everyone. Like, when you look at Trump or all these other faces that we know, like, a lot of people, conspiracy theorists, believe that they are just puppets. And, you know, I definitely lean towards that. I think there's people behind the scenes that we will never know who rule the world. I mean, we know for a fact there's families of, like, absolute royalty, and if you don't think these families have a say in what happens and what goes, like, bro, you're like, who you fooling, dog? Who the fuck are you like, bro? Come on, be so for real now, bro. Like we know for a fact that there are families from generations and generations ago that have just been born into wealth, and they keep their power in the family. Like it makes perfect sense to me, bro. Anyways, he brought up something, because like seems like he's like a very logical guy, but he's totally spiritual. Like I know he is. And he like brought it up. He was talking about like where do thoughts come from, and like you know, he argues how like neuroscience will just say, oh, it's the snap of like the synapses in our brains that create a thought and an idea. And he's like, bro, like be so for real, like that's just, it doesn't work that way. Like thoughts come from a realm that is like, that we can't see, but is like surrounding us. And like, you know, like once again, like and Bill Donovan talks about this too, like, and I wrote this down, like if you cut open the brain, like if I were to die and you were to cut open the brain, you're not going to see my dreams, you're not going to see my thoughts, you're not going to see my ideas, bro. You're just going to see the fucking structure and the neuroscience of whatever the fuck the brain is, right? And so if all of us have the same brain, like why wouldn't we have the same thoughts? It's because thoughts are not of a physical nature. They fucking reside in this ether realm, or in this, you know, gist, or like whatever you want to call it. Thoughts are not of this nature. And that's pretty much what he was saying. And then, you know, Professor Jang was like, but then that's why we created science. You know, we created science to, oh, if it doesn't exist, if we can't see it, it's not real. Sorry, not fucking sorry, bro. That's not the case, bro. Like be for real, dog. Like, I'm sorry, if you genuinely think that something doesn't exist because you can't see it, like, you can't be farther away from the truth. Anyways, let's keep going. Eliminate the thoughts of the left side of the brain. Enter the right side. 90% of God and 10% of human self. Turn on the 90% by going to the right side of the brain. Go to the mountain. 2 Corinthians chapter 3:6. Not in a written code, parentheses letters, but in spirit. For the written code kills, but spirit gives life. Words and phrases can be deceiving if taken the wrong way. So, you know, you can't take everything to be the truth that was written down. That's like, it tells you that in the Bible, right? Not in written code, but in spirit. For written code kills, but spirit gives life. And so there's these people who take everything in the Bible for the truth, and it's like, it literally tells you don't do that, because you can't, and it gets like taken in the wrong way. Learn the Bible all you want. Study it. I need to do more research. I need to look into the Bible more. I need to read it more. I would like to read it every single day, and I very much should. I want to get my own Bible. I want to build a closer relationship to Christ, to Jesus. I genuinely do. I mean that when I say that, because I believe he's a powerful, powerful being. But, you know, I'm never going to like take the Bible as like a literal book to like rule my life. Luke 17:21, neither shall they say it's here nor there, for the kingdom of God is within you. Meditation, go within. I mean, that's a given, bro. Like, you know, we've been through that. Like, if you don't know that the temple of God is within you, you know, like it even says, and I wrote this down somewhere, but the temple of God was not built with hands. And if it's not built with hands, what is the only temple that wasn't built with hands? What do you call this? That's called a temple, right? Like we know this is, we literally call it a temple. So that's pretty interesting wordplay. And it's like, okay, if it wasn't built with hands, the only temple that wasn't built with hands is, wait, oh shit, the temple right between our fucking head. And if the temple wasn't built with hands, but that's where the kingdom of God is, then it must be that the kingdom of God is within us, bro. So come on, fam. Like, come on, bro. Be so for real. Be so for real, dog. I'm just playing, but like, come on, bro. Matthew 6:21, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thy eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. The light of the body is the eye. Therefore, if thy eye be single, the whole body shall fill with light. You know, once again, just like talking about the pineal gland, and you know, like if thy eye be single, I mean, what do we call the third eye? Like what, like everyone like know, even like people like who don't believe in this stuff know about the third eye, and they talk about it in the Bible. Like if the light of the body is the eyes, if therefore thy eye be single, the whole body shall fill with light. And it's like, okay, what does that mean? Maybe it means focus your energy on the third eye and your body will fill with light. And we know that because the pineal gland produces melatonin. And if you do some research on melatonin, melatonin is a skin light enhancer. Like, it literally makes your body lighter, bro. It makes your body lighter, fam. I could be wrong on that. Come on, bro. All right, let's talk about Buddha a little bit. The mind is like a cup. Your mind is like a cup. At the bottom of that is all the fears, guilt, traumas that we've accumulated from all the years as a child, maybe even from a past life, my guy. And it's a sediment at the bottom. When you stir the cup, the water becomes dirty, right? Right? Like, imagine it's like a little powder at the bottom of the cup, right? You have a little supplement and you pour it into the bottom of the cup. What happens when you stir that bitch? It becomes dirty as fuck. And so if your mind is like a cup and we have all these fears and guilts and traumas that we've accumulated over the years, then whenever your mind gets stirred up, all of these like start to fill your mind up, right? They all start to come to the surface and rise up. The traumas, the guilts, the fears, everything comes to the surface now because your mind's like a cup and it got stirred. So now, what Buddha tells us to do is to clear the cup. But if you clean the cup, no matter how much your mind gets stirred, the water shall be clean. Because if you don't have that dirty guck at the bottom of your water, guess what? Come and shake my mind all you want, bruh. Stir that bitch, huh? Stir it, fam. Dead ass though. Like, if you do the work and clean your mind and work through your traumas and work through your fears, like, I'm not gonna say it goes away forever. You know, Buddha and all them boys they were on a different level, bro. But the truth is there. There's truth in that. And so, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so it's the thoughts in the subconscious that were put there by our parents, school, government, church, etc. And when we get triggered, all of these negative thoughts come to the surface. And so, you know, it's just, you just got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to. Once again, talking about more of the left side and the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. You know, the left side cannot be seen / understood / understand the right side of the brain. It has to be shut off. Your temple must be built in silence. To solve the mystery of yourself, you must trust the divine essence of your own mind. Enter within yourself and direct the energy to the right side of the brain. Om, that noise, om, is the sound of the universe. Yeah, this is interesting. You know when you like go like this? You know when you do that, you plug your ears and you hear that little rumble? It kind of sounds like that om noise. It's a om. And it just shows you like that om is within us. Flow in the harmony of om and you shall be aligned with nature. Yeah, when you plug your ears and you hear the rumble, the center of ourselves makes the same sound as the center of the universe. All right. Okay. So this was interesting. So this book right here. This book right here. The Temple Legend by Rudolph motherfucking Steiner. Oh, I'm getting tired in this bitch, bro. I need to like eat something or work out, but first I wanna go into this. So I barely read this book, but when I got it, I was so excited to get it Turns out it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. However, the first chapter, I think, or the first two chapters, I really actually enjoyed. Yeah, the first lecture, because Rudolf Steiner, he didn't actually really write any of his books. He just gave lectures. So these are people's like notes of them. So like the first two lectures, I really, really enjoyed, and I took notes on, because like the way this dude's mind works is like he just has a way of like explaining things on like such a spiritual level, or like explaining the astral realm so like poetically, and so like I don't even know, he just like, it's like he can see directly into the fucking astral realm. It's really weird. Like he's just one of those dudes who just was able to fucking see right into the unseen world. Like I don't know how you get there, but you know, he was just like a fucking vessel for that. And so he, you know, talked about something very interesting in this first chapter. So it's about Lucifer. And you know, we all know Lucifer. A lot of people think Lucifer is the devil and it's Satan. People think Lucifer, Satan, and devil are the same thing. I like to argue that they're not. I'm not like an expert on this topic or anything, but I don't think like Lucifer and Satan and the devil are like the same being. I think the devil personally is like an aspect of ourselves. I think it is our lower nature, our egoic side. And you know, like you can turn into a devil essentially. So I think the devil is like a being within us. I think Satan is a sort of, you know, title, like when people practice Satanism or whatever, black magic, things like that. I think it's a sort of title, like I'm a Satanist. I don't know if Satan's an actual being. Lucifer, however, I do believe to be an actual entity, an actual being. Do I believe it is a negative and evil entity? No, not at all. I think Lucifer was just a very powerful being, and I think that's why everyone, you know, it's remembered so much, and still to this day is talked about. And this is what he explained Lucifer's role, right? We know Lucifer was like the fallen angel, the fallen star, or whatever, right? And so this is interesting. So ready? This is what I wrote. Let's see if it makes sense though, because I be writing shit sometimes and I know it don't make no sense. So just bear with me for a second, all right? The Luciferian nature is man's intellect, awareness of self, pursuit of knowledge. It is only through this full conscious awareness we are able to understand our true nature of who and what we are. It is only through this realization of self that we are even able to know we dwell in spirit with God, that we are souls. So okay, so right, like we ate the fucking the tree of knowledge or whatever, right, that we weren't supposed to. People really think that's a sin. I don't think it's necessarily a sin, because I think if we never did that, or if Lucifer never gave us the man, like our intellect nature, then we wouldn't have the awareness that we are even spiritual beings. And so this is what I wrote. We could have been happy creatures, however, unconscious. And if I'm being honest, I would relate this to like an animal, right? We look at an animal and they're, you know, they're just chilling, bro. Like I wish I was a goddamn cat half of the time. Like if I was a motherfucking cat, like life would be good. But at the same time, I want to know things, and I'm very grateful that I have the awareness of like, what am I and what is going on. And so I believe that was Lucifer's role. It gave us the intellect and awareness to question. Now, what comes with that, of course, is that, you know, we can question and have free will now, and so we can turn against our nature and make our own decisions and choose not to believe that we are divine creatures or whatever, divine beings. Yeah, like I said, we could have been happy creatures, however unconscious, living in a dream-like state. Yeah, right, he just ended it by saying, for we humans are not confined to a dull, dreamy, semi-experience. We are destined to develop a free, fully conscious unfolding of our whole being. Yeah, you know, he talks about how the founders of the church's outward doctrine have distorted the deeper meaning of Luciferic striving. The spirit of man should be free, not dull. And like that's kind of what he's arguing, is that like Lucifer's nature or whatever was literally what gave man like the awareness, the tree of knowledge, right? To realize, oh shit, I'm a motherfucking human in this bitch, and I have a soul or whatever, I have a spirit, and like we are divine creatures. But you know, at the same time, what that does is, now what can I do with this? I feel like a god, you know what I'm saying? Like if animals were like aware, I don't know, maybe cats would want to fucking kill us too, you know? I don't know. Yeah, like he argues like, you know, like if we were never awakened by eating the tree of knowledge or whatever, he argues that, and I quote, "But one thing would have been lacking then, one thing of great importance, if not the utmost importance. He would have lacked a feeling of freedom, a capacity to exercise his individual discrimination with regard to good and evil by means of his own consciousness, his own human ego." You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense, bro. I'm getting a little tired, I'm not gonna lie. But we can keep it going. Fuck it. Let's keep it going. I'm gonna share this real quick. Let the ego be the assistant, not the director. Cause fuck that shit. Alright. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to break this down. I'm gonna watch this back. Hopefully I'll actually do this. I'm gonna watch it back, and I want to make little videos or big videos, whatever, because I think that I can make videos this way. I'm just reading what I already wrote down and then elaborating on them. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Thank you for watching, bruh. I hope you enjoy, man. All right, I'll see y'all later, bruh. Peace.